Today, Lunch Money is brought to you by FTX US. Now, FTX, not only do they have low fees, but they also just launched stock trading. And the stock trading, they just balling right here. We're going to talk about it in a second. But there's no fees and there's no payment for order flow. So FTX US, they will give you a bunch of stuff if you go download FTX US and just use the link in the description. They have exclusive benefits. Those benefits are starting to get pretty good. We're hammering on them. We're like, I don't want to say people's name over there, but FTX, we're like, yo, you got to give the audience more stuff. If you don't have an FTX account, go get an FTX account. FTX US, they've got stock trading now, and also, obviously, they've got Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, etc. They are integrating the Lightning Network as well. They're working on that. I don't know if you guys saw. They recently had Brett, the president of FTX, and Elizabeth Stark from Lightning Labs doing a little call with each other, trying to figure out what FTX beat other exchanges to integrate Lightning. Let's see. I don't know. First topic, Elon Musk. Let's just talk about it. Elon Musk has been voting Democrat his whole life. The man said he wants to buy Twitter, preserve freedom of speech. He says he's going to vote Republican. And now they're saying he's a sexual predator already. It took like 2 weeks for them to put out the hit piece. Business Insider put it out. They seem to have a track record now of saying people are doing nefarious things from a sexual harassment standpoint. What do you guys think about this?
I think, well, first off, to your point, I agree that is directionally true. But I also I think it's naive to think that Elon didn't put out those tweets in response to them asking him for a comment on the article.
100%.
Yeah,
he's trying to front run.
He was front
knowing
running.
that the article
get
was
ready
coming.
for hit pieces on
And then like the next day it came out. It's like, bro, they already asked you for comment. We know that you knew that already. So
I don't think anyone thinks that he didn't know that it was coming.
there's certainly people on the internet that think he was like predicting it and then it happened.
Oh, no. I don't think that.
Yeah, which I don't believe, right? I think that he was front running it for sure. But I also think it's just interesting, right? Like there's obviously a lot of things with the story that people could question or not. But I think what ultimately is happening now is people are going to be put in this weird position where it's going to become socially unacceptable to support him in certain ways, right? Whether it's him acquiring Twitter or doing certain things. And that's not right or wrong. It's just that's how people are going to feel. They're going to feel like it's not socially acceptable. And I think that's a bad thing. I think
so I agree that's what they're going to try, they being the people writing the pieces. Like that's what cancel culture does, right? When Joe Rogan got canceled,
if you're a Joe Rogan fan, all of a sudden you're an idiot.
You're a racist. Yeah, you support this guy, like all this stuff and everything. But the way you break down cancel culture is everyone literally just says, we are not going to listen to this nonsense. We still support this person. So, for example,
Rogan,
Andrew Schultz,
yeah,
he came out. He goes, dude, I've known this guy for years. He's not racist.
Yeah.
Right? And when he put the flag in the ground, then all of a sudden other comedians started to come out and say it. But like, I don't think Andrew Schultz probably got the credit he deserves for being willing to go on record, say it publicly, and be like, and then he was like calling out other comedians, being like, this dude literally helped you build your career, and y'all gonna sit here and be silenced by these fools. Right. Yeah. And I think Elon has such a big following and such a big audience that don't like the politicalization of all this stuff and like the moralization, whatever, that it's going to be very hard for them to cancel the richest man in the world. Right. Yeah. Now, with that said, I don't know what happened. You guys don't know what happened. And so like the default, unfortunately for the media, is that immediately when somebody reads this, they laugh. I mean, I had people text me yesterday and they're like, this is a joke, right? There's just no trust whatsoever with the media.
I didn't even have to read the article to know what it said. In a sense, like I didn't know the story of the settlement and all that, but I saw the headline and I was like, I know exactly what narrative this article is going to push. And it held it to a T. It did a little bit better. I thought it was going to be complete slander, but it was more just like, hey, like we reached out for comment. Like they threw a few things in there to make it a little
lighthearted. They didn't even talk to the woman. That was the craziest part of this specific one, is that it's a friend of a person that this supposedly occurred with.
Well, that's my point, though. That's the real shitty part, is that because obviously these things do happen sometimes, right?
Yes.
And there are important people, wealthy people, et cetera, that do these bad things and it should be shown light on, right? And they should get whatever comes.
Yeah, if you're a bad dude or woman and you do bad things, you should be exposed.
But the fact now where Business Insider, or really any publication, posts something like this online, and immediately a large percentage of people, whether it's 60%, 50%, 30%, whatever, a large percentage of people automatically assume that it's bullshit, it's fake, they're grasping at straws, etc. That's a problem. I think that it speaks to obviously the distrust in media that we've seen, but it's obviously gotten worse over the last few years. So I think what we'll find out is like, let's see how it happens. There's, especially with Business Insider, if anyone followed anything that happened over the last few months with them and Dave Portnoy and everything else, like there was some obviously inconsistencies in their reporting that were.
Did Dave Portnoy and Elon Musk just become best friends?
Probably. Elon's probably going to call him up and be like, let's take them down together.
Well, I just looked it up, and I think that Insider, according to this website, again, Dun & Bradstreet, pretty well-respected firm, they are saying that, this can't be true. Insider only does $85 million in sales.
Yeah, you don't think that's true?
I mean, Elon, literally, like, that's spare change. He may just go buy Insider.
Yeah.
Right? Like $85 million?
$85 million in sales, that's it? Let's say that they operate.
I don't even know if I should say this, but the $250,000 payment, that was like really, really weird.
No, let's talk about it.
That was like way too small for something of this size and scale. Like, if you really think about it, I haven't looked at Tesla stock or any of these other companies. Like, obviously some of them are private and don't have mark to market, but it's billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars that could be impacted by something like this, right? A $250,000 payment is like suspiciously small for something of this large of a scale.
Yes, I agree. I think that...
and that doesn't mean that it's not true, right? That's something that stuck out to me of like, that's weird, right? If this is true and that's accurate and she had evidence or whatever it was,
yes, then
that seems like a very small payment.
Yeah, I agree. John, anything else?
No, I did read after the fact that NDAs are no longer allowed in California. A few months after this was already done, they were already working on
sexual harassment.
Yeah, sexual harassment and like
for these specific
types of cases, you can't use NDAs for the settlement or severance or whatever, because they want people to talk about it.
I mean, that's a pretty crazy.
Just for these types of cases, though, every other case you can use an NDA.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess that like different state. Well, I guess the states' rights. Yeah. Like, they have different rules around that stuff.
Yeah, it was just interesting to see. Like, this happened right before it, which, depending on whose side you're on, it's good or bad.
So, what do we think? Forget for a second whether the story is true or not. We're never going to be able to tell that. The impact, though, I think we can pontificate on. What do you think is the likely impact of this? 2 weeks from now, does anybody even remember this article? Or do you think this is the beginning of a snowball and there's more of this stuff coming and he's going to be... He's now risen to the point where every media company is going to attack him and try to knock him down.
Yeah, look, I think like there's some people that are just blindly going to say like Elon didn't do this, he's great, he's fantastic, and I certainly don't consider myself in that boat. Like, I don't know what he has and hasn't done. From an entrepreneurship perspective, I think he's incredible, right? I think he's built a lot of good companies. I don't know if that's even, you can argue that at this point. From like a personal perspective, it's obviously a completely different story. I don't know him personally. I don't know what he does. I don't know the type of person he actually is. So I think all of that, like, you got to let it play out and see if anything actually comes from it. But it wouldn't surprise me, to your point of just like how the media works today, this is probably more likely the start than it is of just like people are going to forget it, because of the incentive and the reward for you to find these stories, for people to come and tell these stories, for magazines and newspapers and websites to report on these. Yeah.
Agreed. The only thing I would add was there's going to be another story in a week. People are going to move on. Bezos got slander when he was coming up, right? When people are successful, they get slander. Everyone has skeletons in their closet, maybe not to this extent, but everyone is nervous about something that they did in the past coming up in the future. Yeah, look, there will be another story we were talking about this morning. The world is very, very good at moving on with things very, very quickly. You can see everyone was really worried about the Canadian trucker situation. 2 weeks later, you stopped hearing about it. Ukraine and Russia has died down significantly of what people are hearing about it, even though what's happening is still going on. So I just think the world will move on, and people will move on to the next thing.
All right. Next thing is FTX now has stock trading. And what's fascinating to me about this is FTX obviously is known as a crypto company. They're $30 billion plus company. And FTX is rolling out in beta U.S. customers will now be able to trade crypto, stocks, and NFTs from one interface. They have hundreds of U.S. exchange-listed securities, including common stocks, ETFs, and it's integrated in their crypto trading experience. It's all in one place. And this is where it gets interesting. They provide transparent trade execution and fair pricing. They will initially route all orders through NASDAQ. They will not receive any payment for order flow. And in addition, fractional share trading will be available in select securities. They're going to offer their customers no-fee brokerage accounts, commissionless trading, and free data and company fundamental data. And then on top of that, the company is not using any minimum required customer balances, tiered account systems, and on top of all of that, they are also going to, the first time in industry history, have retail brokerage accounts that can be funded with fiat-backed stablecoins such as USDC. Now, when I think of all this, I think of plenty of people who did commission-free trading, but it was all payment for order flow. When FTX comes in and says, hey, we're just going to offer stocks in the same interface, no fees, and no payment for order flow, is that the natural end state? Like, it's just competition driving everyone there, and then it's, hey, I can trade all digital assets, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, whatever, all in one place. Like, this is what every single platform is going to eventually do.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have already done that. Like Robinhood, for example, offers crypto. Not that it's the best crypto platform, but there's some that offer stocks, crypto, et cetera. So I think that we're headed that way. To me, it was a genius move to come out and say, hey, look, we're not going to charge commission, but we're also not going to do payment for order flow, right? The two things that people hate and have given people a hard time for over the last few years. So FTX can obviously subsidize this with the big business that they've built in crypto, but other companies aren't able to do that as easily without raising a bunch of money and burning a bunch of cash. So they've now created this moat that gives them the ability to go sign up a bunch of new customers and get a bunch of assets that they can subsidize through their other products, which I think is really smart. And then the second thing is, like, it's very interesting that this happened a week after Sam Bankman-Fried acquired a passive 5, 6, 7% stake in Robinhood, right? Because it's obviously a similar business. They built most of their business on no fee trading, no fee stock trading. Now they do crypto and other stuff, but like, now they're starting to look kind of similar, and you wonder if at some point that passive stake becomes active and you try something that used to be crazy, but now is probably not nearly as crazy, that Elon has done stuff like this.
John?
FTX has over 1 million users. Robinhood has over 20 million users, right? If they can onboard even a small percentage of Robinhood users and make them use the FTX app instead and do all their crypto trading and their stock trading there, it's a no-brainer. Sam Bankman-Fried taking a stake in Robinhood is a great move for him. I mean, it's a very popular app with the younger generation. A lot of people are involved in crypto in the younger generation. It's a good onboarding flow for him. And if he ever wanted, he could try to, merge the companies or anything like that. But I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon.
Do you think he's going to try to take over Robinhood? Like,
Yes.
is it a hostile takeover?
Dude,
I don't know how he's going to do it, but I think he's going to buy the business.
It's worth less than $9 billion.
I 100% think he's going for it.
Yeah, I think he's going to buy the
And I think that it's a genius thing to do.
Is he doing the Elon playbook, though? 5%, move up, get
Well, he bought
poison
7.
pill.
Yeah.
Basically, he had to disclose it, right? Because over 5%, I think you have to disclose. But the more interesting part is, if he bought it, do you just buy it and hold it and just leave it there and let it operate as it is? Or do you try to integrate it and, like, only one brand survives, right? And you basically take all the Robinhood users, bring them over to FTX, and now you just have FTX users, and you jump from 1 million to 20 million.
I feel like FTX, out of a lot of the companies that are out there today, has probably done the best job, if not, one of the best jobs, of becoming that, like, whether it's crypto or stocks, or basically that platform of, like, that next generation of that next culture, right?
Yes.
And Robinhood represented that for a long time, actually. People give them a lot of shit now, but that's really how they built their business. It was all 18 to 24 to 30-year-olds on the app that were doing these commission-free stock trades and day trading, basically tracking everything. It's true.
We're laughing because I'm like, yeah, that's John.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe it was at some point, maybe it still is, but ultimately, I think FTX is moving into that thing, and a lot of that has to do with their marketing strategy, right? They do these big events, they do these festivals, they do the sports arenas, they do all this stuff.
Make it cool.
They make it cool, exactly. And if you were to buy Robinhood, like, that basically just catapults you even further into that site, and I think it's a big advantage for them.
Yeah.
One of the best things to do when starting a company and building a product is make it cool. If you make it cool, it will survive.
Yeah. The other piece of it too, I think, is that FTX obviously has this massive business that they've got. If they could basically take Robinhood, get rid of the payment for order flow, say that, hey, we came in and we got rid of the payment for order flow, all of a sudden, all those users would be like, yo, we like this guy.
Yeah.
Right. We like this company. And so I think that they're trying to do that by just saying, hey, look, we have a competitive offering. Let's pull people. But if they actually went and bought it, that would be fascinating. The big question is it going to keep falling, the stock price? Like, it's worth $9 billion now. Is it actually on its way to $3 billion, or is there going to be some recovery back to $15
billion? The actual price of the stock is not under $10.
Under $10 now.
And I think it IPO'd at like $40.
Cap's 8.6 billion.
8.6. Like if it gets under $5 billion,
yeah, and it IPO'd at 35.
Sam may be able to just buy with cash.
Yeah.
Right? Like if Robinhood falls to $5 billion, there's literally a chance that Sam Bankman-Fried's just like, yo, I'm gonna send you some USDC.
Your company's worth $4 billion. Someone comes and goes, I got $5 billion cash. Let's do it. And you reject that offer.
Yeah, he would have to do a premium, whatever, right? So, like, I mean, it would be a traditional takeover. But also, what would be fascinating is if he keeps buying up stock, and we go from 7 to like 15 to 20%, and it becomes hostile, fireworks. I don't put as much weight on it happening as maybe you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, he said it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So you have to assume that he's at least telling the truth right now until he shows otherwise. But I wouldn't be surprised, right? There's just too many similarities between the two businesses, especially with what they're doing now from a stock perspective. But also, you have to think about Robinhood, how cheap it's gotten, right? It's well below its IPO price right now. The fundamentals of the business, you would assume, are still pretty strong. I mean, John said they have over 20 million users. The problem is, though, that I believe a lot of their revenue was coming from crypto when the bull market was really running up. And when that stuff starts to fade, then you get in this weird position where, like, you're still doing the payment for order flow and people are paying you for that. But they were making the majority of their money off crypto, and specifically not just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It was off all of these long tail assets that people were day trading. And if those things all go away, then you're in a really difficult position if you're Robinhood, because you have this massive user base, but you're not monetizing them correctly because you were basically taking the easy way out and monetizing them through these super expensive crypto trades. And FTX, if you're able to subsidize that, that's like a way out for them, right? And if you can, you know, your business is sitting at $3, $4, $5 billion eventually, and they come in and they offer you 3, 4, 5 times that, like, your shareholders, that's something to think about, right? That's obviously a pretty decent offer and something that FTX would probably be not only willing to do, but could do. And I think that when you consider all 3 or 4 of those things, like, starts to make more sense, even though he has said that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but FTX saw something similar, right, with popularity of app usage when crypto was absolutely skyrocketing last year. I was looking up the numbers, and Robinhood reported revenue of Q2 last year when Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies were on that bull run. They reported revenue of $233 million attributed to their crypto accounts. And then this Q1 of this year, it was only around $50 million. So it got cut by down to like 25% of what it was, or less than 25% of what it was, which is kind of like fascinating to think that how much popularity crypto has during the bull runs and how people just stray away from it during the bear markets.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up these stats right now of Robinhood and how much money they were actually making on crypto. If this would load, we got some janky old Wi-Fi over here. It seems.
Bro, don't be starting with the Wi-Fi complaints.
I'm just saying, hey Johnny, look, it's not loading. Let me see. Maybe I can just read it from here.
I got you.
Yeah, we'll pass. Basically, in quarter to quarter, when crypto assets last year in Q3 dropped, they saw, I believe it was specifically
78%.
Doge. Yeah. So Robinhood brought in $233 million in crypto revenue in Q2 of last year. It was more than their options and equities departments combined, but 61% of that $233 million came solely from Dogecoin. 61%
of 200.
So when Dogecoin dropped a bunch, Robinhood saw its crypto revenue drop 78% from Q2 to Q3, and the stock went 50% down, right? And it's the whole idea I wrote at the end: live by the meme, die by the meme. And it's like, if you're building your business on those things and you're touting all this revenue and you're making a bunch of money from it, like, that's not sustainable, really.
Did they time the IPO perfectly from an insider's perspective?
Probably, yeah.
They got out at the top of the market, got public, and then it was just
Because what was the business worth? It was like 30 billion or something, right?
Yeah, stock price, wasn't the stock price like 40, 50 bucks?
Yeah. It IPO'd at $35.
Yeah, it IPO'd at 35.
And ran up a little bit.
So if it's at 8, right? Yeah, 30 billion probably.
Yeah.
And
going right into a bull market.
Yeah. All those things. And then look, by the way, a lot of the drawdown of that particular company isn't just because of bad performance, right? Some of it is, yes, the financial performance changes because people aren't, investing as much, but also the market changed and multiples have compressed. All that. Yeah. All right, crypto retirements. What are you guys seeing with people putting crypto in their retirement accounts?
I own GBTC in my retirement account.
I mean, let's talk about it. The what's the discount?
It's not looking too good right now.
Discount. I do as well. GBTC is what, minus 30?
Oh, I gotcha.
Is it minus 30?
Minus 30, yeah, 29.4.
Getting crushed.
You guys nervous over here?
This is why you shouldn't take financial advice from me over here. I'm sitting with GBTC in the retirement account. Just getting crushed right now, but I'm gonna hold it.
GBTC keeps saying that the spot ETF's coming. They're gonna get converted. They're gonna get. When's it happen?
I can hold longer than the discount can persist. All right,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a retirement account. I ain't talking that money.
I got 30 years. How long that discount got? Me and that discount, we just staring at each other every day. I ain't changing, dog. You gonna have to go back to zero.
Like, I'm changing. I'm going down.
Well, that was my.
Let's go. Let's convert this bad boy.
You're waiting.
That was my my whole thing, right? Like most people would be super pissed off about it right now, but it almost makes you want to buy more because you're like, wow, the fucking discount is at 30%. If this thing eventually gets converted and Bitcoin does what you think it's going to do, then like that's a no-brainer trade. But those two things have to happen, right? Bitcoin obviously has to appreciate and then it has to get converted to an ETF.
The conversion. So just so people, maybe to help people understand this. So GBTC historically has been the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Trust being a key word there because it is a trust. And what a trust means is a publicly traded trust. And the way that money gets into the trust is that people would go to Grayscale, the company behind it, and they would say, hey, I would like to invest in your investment vehicle. And so what they would send you is documents. You would give them money, and they would take your dollars, and they would say, okay, in exchange for, I'll make up a number. In exchange for $100,000, you get 100,000 shares. And it was trading at, let's say, $1 a share. They take your $100,000 and they go buy Bitcoin in the market. That Bitcoin then sits inside of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So I've spent $100,000 or invested $100,000. I have 100,000 shares at $1. In order to get this private deal, where it was when it was trading at $1, I have to hold those shares for 6 months and 1 day. I cannot sell them for 6 months. So I get my 100,000 shares and I hold it. And the reason why I was willing to give Grayscale the money, the $100,000 for the 100,000 shares, was because historically the shares in the public market were trading at, let's call it a 15 to 20% premium. So if I bought the shares for $1, usually at that same exact moment, they were trading at $1.20, let's say, for easy numbers. So I buy them for $1 in the private market. I have to hold for 6 months, and then I sell them for $1.20. Now, if Bitcoin's price goes up or down, that 20% premium stuck. It went down sometimes to 10 or 12%. Sometimes it went up to 25, 30%, but let's just call it 20%. So there was a GBTC arbitrage. And what people would do, lots of hedge funds and big investors, is they would go give their money to Grayscale in the private placement. They would get the shares, they'd hold them for 6 months, and on 6 months and 1 day, they would sell them in the public market, and they would capture the premium. And so usually that was, let's call it 20%. Well, if you do that after 6 months, you get a 20% premium. That's actually a 40% annualized return. And so they would then, after they sell it, take the cash and go and do it again. And they kept doing this game over and over again. Well, that's amazing when there's a premium because it pulls in a bunch of money into the private market. Now, what's unique about a trust structure is that there is no redemptions. And what that means is if you give them the money and they go buy the Bitcoin, that Bitcoin goes into the fund. There's no way to get the Bitcoin out of the fund. So if you are a shareholder of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the only way to not hold the shares anymore, you can't show up and say, hey, give me the Bitcoin. Instead, you have to sell the shares to somebody else in the public market. So if you wanted to buy GBTC in a retirement account or something like that, you could have just gone in the public market, went to ticker GBTC, bought it, and then you'd be holding those shares. You also could have participated in the private placement. Now, where things got weird is that almost all or a very major portion of the bull market from $10,000 of Bitcoin in Q3 into Q4 of 2020, all the way up to $64,000 in March and kind of April timeframe of 2021. Remember when it went from 10,000, broke 20,000, hit 30,000 right around the turn of the year and accelerated all the way to 64,000? A very large percentage of that move was due to the GBTC arbitrage. Because what was happening was there was so much money flowing into that fund, and they were turning around, they were buying so much Bitcoin on the market. At one point, Grayscale was buying more than 100% of the daily incoming Bitcoin supply. So at that time, there's 1,800 Bitcoin coming into the market every single day. Grayscale was buying more than $1,800 or 1,800 Bitcoin. So as they're buying more Bitcoins coming into the market, naturally they're soaking up all of this supply. And then because there's no redemptions, the Bitcoin can't come out of the fund. So now what ends up happening is Grayscale just became this black hole for Bitcoin. It became like the ultimate hodler. And I believe that it got up to like 3% of the circulating supply was in that Grayscale fund. And so 3% of the circulating supply, bam, held, no one's going to let go of it because it is in a fund where there's no redemptions. And there was an incentive, the premium, for more and more people to keep investing, which meant that they could go buy more Bitcoin, which meant that they were taking more Bitcoin off the market and they were holding it. As they made the market illiquid, more people started to come in because price was rising and it accelerated all the way up to 64,000. Now the problem became at some point that premium flipped to a discount. And what we mean by premium and discount is, let's say that there's 10 Bitcoin trading in the, there's 10 Bitcoin in the fund. And those 10 Bitcoin are each worth $100. So that'd be $1,000 NAV or value in the fund. If the collective value of the shares was trading at $1,200, that would be a 20% premium of the share price to NAV. There's only $1,000 worth of value in the fund, but it's trading at $1,200 total market cap, and therefore there's 20% premium. What occurred at some point is that actually it went to a discount, which meant that that $1,000 of Bitcoin that's sitting in there, right now it's at a 30% discount. That would mean that actually it's only trading at $700. If you take all the share prices or all the shares and add it up and then times it by the share price. So you have $1,000 in the fund, but it's only trading at $700. And so ultimately, if you're somebody who was holding GBTC when it was at $1,000 of value and at $1,200 of market cap, that meant that you went from a 20% premium to now you're holding it at a 30% discount. Even if Bitcoin's price stayed the same, it is a very significant impairment to the value of what you're holding. And so people say, well, how do we get back to NAV, right? Or how do we get back so the share price ends up being equivalent to the value in the actual fund? So if you think about that, if it's at $700 now, but really there's $1,000 worth of value, if it goes back up, that'd be almost 50% increase in the price of the stock just to get back to NAV, right? Obviously, if you go from 700 to 1,000, just under 50%. And so the only path to that at the moment, or viable path maybe, that seems realistic, is to convert the GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, to an ETF. Now, the reason why an ETF is interesting is because an exchange-traded fund has the ability to create and redeem. And so there's the ability to go back and forth, which means that you don't have 20% premiums and 30% discounts. You get much, much closer to NAV. And there still might be, +1 plus -1 on NAV, but you don't get these massive premiums and discounts because there's the ability to redeem the actual assets themselves. So if you bought right now, for example, if you went in and you bought the share price at a 30% discount to NAV and you could redeem, you would go buy the share, turn around and say, hey, give me the value of my shares, and you would get the 50% increase. So it pushes the share price back up to about NAV. The question is when and if Grayscale is going to be able to convert this. So what we're talking about is, I got it forever. It's in my retirement account. I'm just never going to sell it. I'm just going to wait till they convert it because it's basically got a baked in, at this point from here, it's got a baked in return if they get the conversion done that historically these things go back to NAV. If that was to occur, then there would be value. Now, everything we just said, one, not financial advice, but also two, that's using what's previously happened in these scenarios as a proxy for what is expected to happen. But in today's market and environment, who knows what occurs, right?
That's exactly what I think about it. I got time.
Just hold.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking, John?
No, I'm not a GBTC holder.
Oh, you got none.
Yeah, I got no GBTC.
Damn, you dodged.
I'm kind of pumped right now if it's down 30%.
May have to get some now.
Well, it sounds like you guys are just holding forever. So
in the retirement account, why not?
I just got diamond hands. Yeah. That's the best meme. That's the best meme.
It's like when the guy's walking, he's just shaking his hand. He's like,
I would stop doing that on camera. He was behind the computer. He couldn't see. You ever seen that meme of the guy doing the flag?
No.
You never seen the one with the cop doing the flag at the football game? And you can't see his hands?
No, I'll look it up later.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Next thing.
Pharma bro. What's this guy's name?
Martin Shkreli.
Martin Shkreli. He's out.
He took the price of, I believe, insulin for, up like 5,000%, right?
So I don't know all the details of why he got in trouble, but he got in trouble. My guess is that it didn't help that he was super abrasive. What?
Showed me the meme he was talking about.
All right.
Good meme.
Martin Shkreli is now out of prison.
Yeah.
I don't even know why this is news other than like he became well known as Pharma Bro, which was like an all-time nickname for him. And he gets released from prison the same day that the Fire Festival guy.
Billy McFarland. Two entrepreneurs.
Everyone better be careful online. There better be some scams going around online. Y'all gotta watch your pockets.
Billy was doing stuff from behind prison walls. He had a podcast.
Yeah. They're like, bro, are you using the prison phone to record a podcast? He's like, yeah, I am.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he had a podcast.
He would release one a week, right? Because when he would do the podcast, they would find out. They would throw him in solitary confinement. He would get out in a week and he would do another podcast and then get thrown back in.
I mean, was it popular? Was he making cash?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I heard about it, so I'm sure some people want to
spend a week in solitary confinement. I'm sure you're making some money.
I like talking to people and recording the episodes, but I don't think I'd trade solitary confinement for a week.
You're getting a collect call from Billy McFarland.
All right, so what do we think about Pharma Bro?
He's on Bumble.
How? What?
Yeah, he's on the dating apps.
He's probably in New York City.
Real. It can't be real though.
No, I think it is. I mean, the photos of him getting out that he's posting online from the car were real. I think he's like having fun with it. I don't know. I mean, he's a meme at this point, right?
I mean, he just got out of jail, so I'm sure he's having a little bit of fun.
Does he become Wolf of Wall Street? Kind of like that's his place in the game now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, that guy is doing all kinds of
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, speaking tours.
He's selling crypto courses for $40,000
to come to his house and teach people. I'm not even gonna start.
I mean, is that what Shkreli? Shkreli? Is that his?
If he can convince someone to come to his house and pay him $40,000 to teach him,
should we get him on this show?
We should. Yeah.
I'd bring him.
Let's ask it. I would love to talk to him.
I would love to understand what
he is. His Bumble photo.
No, that's not real.
That's him, bro.
Looks like he's still in the jumpsuit.
He's really
because let me just get one.
He's really on Bumble already. Is that a verified badge? Is that how Bumble works?
I don't know.
That blue thing.
It's a little blue thing, yeah.
And why? He's like,
man, I don't even know where to. Somebody say he's the next Tinder swindler.
Did y'all watch that?
No. Did you?
Yeah, I watched part of it.
Yeah, it wasn't
most
good?
of it. Yeah, I mean the guy's reckless. He was doing all kinds of crazy
like
shit.
What?
Basically, his thing was he would like find these girls on an app. He'd meet up with them, and they would think he's like super, super, super wealthy. Like he came from money and all this stuff because he would meet them at these expensive hotels. He'd be driving these expensive cars. He had security and all this stuff. And then he would start dating them for a couple months. He would travel all the time. So he'd see them occasionally and whatever, but he would always talk to them. And then they'd get to a point like months later and he'd be like, hey, his business was diamonds or whatever. So he'd pretend like people were always after him. Like he was always scared and he had security and all this stuff. So he'd be like, hey, my credit cards got frozen. Like I need you to wire me money. And he'd live this expensive lifestyle. So he'd be like, I need like $100,000. And they'd be like,
People would
"What?"
take out lines of
And they would
credit.
take it. So he would convince them to take out lines of credit because he would be like dating them for like 6 months at this point. They think they're like getting married or 8 months. So like, so they would take out like loans. They would do all these things. They'd mortgage their house, like put their house up and all this stuff. So he'd get like hundreds of thousands of dollars from people. And then he'd just stop talking to them. And
That is not real.
and he would do this. And the reason why he was able to do it
That
was because
works.
he would meet multiple women and do it all at the same time. So he would use one person's money to fund the next girl, right? To like take her on trips, to do all these things.
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, he was basically just using the money.
that
to do it.
worked.
Yeah.
Well, they're not investors, so I don't know if you would call that a Ponzi scheme. But
I mean,
That's basically what
I
happened.
haven't been in the dating game for a while. But if I was dating somebody and they were like, yo, could you take out a loan and send me $100,000? I'd have a lot of questions.
That's what I'm saying,
We're not
right?
dating
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I got a lot of questions there.
Well,
I don't know. Love, I guess, blinds you, right?
I guess.
Man, I'm scared for anyone.
So
on
I don't
Bumble
know
in
if
New York City right now.
Martin's gonna be able to pull that off, but maybe he'll be active on the apps.
My guess is that he's actually going to come back with a company.
I'm not gonna let anyone that says
Who's gonna give him money?
No, he has money.
How much money he got? He got a
He had
Wu-Tang
that-
album that's
nah,
worth
he-
like
he
$2
had to-
million
he had to
bucks or
sell
whatever.
that at
Oh,
auction.
he had to sell it?
Yeah, he had to sell
All right,
it.
so he's out of that. Oh, that was like $2 million, right?
He said, "I'm gonna buy it and then release it to the world." Wu-Tang was like, "You're not allowed to do that." He said, "I do whatever I want when I'm the owner."
Let's see. Martin Shkreli's net worth.
That
Yeah,
is-
say he's worth $70 million.
Get out of here.
I don't know. Isn't it the kind of same thing with
I mean, it's
the Wall
based on
Street
some
guy?
company. Yeah, they claim that that's his.
Bro, no way that guy's worth $70 million.
Oh, they're saying now it might be worth
Bro.
zero. Oh, now they're saying it's zero.
Yeah, there's no
it
way.
was $70
He
million.
probably had to
forgot.
pay a bunch of money.
I forgot Dow bought the Wu-Tang Clan album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
what's
that?
going on with
74 member Dow bought the Wu-Tang album that was worth like $2 million.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to start like releasing products and just only sell them to DAOs. They all got too much cash they need to part with.
And you know how much cash they have, too.
Yeah, they tell you.
What products are you guys gonna create?
I don't know. Let's make an album, John.
Do you want to know a business?
They're buying albums.
Do you want to know a business that I think somebody should create right now? If somebody wants to create this business, I would love for you to reach out to us. I would be very interested in starting this. An American furniture brand that just start, like the way I would start the business, just start with wood tables. Just create nice wood tables, like a dinner table, that you could replicate over and over and over again. Right now, there's a huge furniture shortage across America. Supply chains are all screwed up, all this stuff. If you could get the unit economics down to be able to create American-made wood tables, and if you can sell them at a high price point, I think you could make an absolute bag. Like you could literally, in 90 to 120 days, I think you'd be at $1 million in annual revenue.
Well, there's a shortage for a reason,
Of course.
right? So what are you going to like?
Is
you can't-
lumber still
Are you
up?
just going to
Like,
sell a bunch and then not deliver the tables?
No. What you do is you go and you source the wood. You do
course,
the work
yeah,
to get all
it's-
this stuff,
yeah.
right? And then
I
you go
assume
and
there's a reason why there's a shortage, though.
because most of the furniture is actually made elsewhere, and the supply chain disruptions of getting it here. Now, obviously, the price of lumber went up, right, at one point, but it's come down significantly.
yeah, it's
since.
at 665.
So are you pitching IKEA for America?
I mean, yeah,
they got good
kinda.
stuff. Yeah,
I mean, y'all know IKEA,
they
right?
churn out money there and furniture. They're
Yeah,
showing nonstop.
people are saying the Amish do it. Like, I'll compete with the Amish.
well, maybe they'll go in business with us.
Yeah, or we could be
We'll work
partners.
with the Amish. Come on.
Listen, either you're our partner or you die at the feet of our
Yeah,
wood table
you're
business.
You're either in on it with us or you're dead.
You either are part of our business or we crush you.
Yeah, there aren't gonna be no fucking furniture brands left.
Everyone's just gonna walk in and be like, "Oh, that table, definitely the Pomps made that." Yeah, look, people said we bought an American-made couch for our new house. Jamie Halspeth said this. It took 10 months to get here.
They said the Amish can build a house in 6 days.
If they can do it in 6, we can do it in 5.
Tell them to hit us up. We're interested in their work.
Right? Yeah. I mean, people are literally, they're saying, yeah, like I can get a handmade table that's made locally right down the road. Your local furniture shops will have plenty of tables. No, we don't want that, Patrick Bailey. We don't want people to go down the street. They got to come buy the tables from us and we'll ship them to you.
Yeah, we'll create a nice little slick website. We'll have people, you could put the picture of the furniture in your house. You upload the picture. We'll do that. We'll be a data company. We'll raise money at 12 times revenue.
And we'll do exactly.
Somebody said just resell the Amish furniture.
We'll do exactly what
markup.
We'll do exactly what Amazon does too, and remove all the negative reviews for their products.
I think that we literally should find an entrepreneur who wants to do this with us, and I'll fund it. We'll start the business and we'll document. And I bet you that in 120 days, we could get to a $1 million run rate. 4 months, 120 days, $1 million run rate.
I think that's definitely possible.
And all we do is we make one thing. We make American-made wood tables. If you ain't got one, you're a loser. The marketing is about to be fire.
I agree.
Bunch of bald eagles, American flags.
Yeah, and if you pay us double, we'll inscribe the table for you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Do we do chairs too or no?
No, buy your own chairs. It's BYOC.
Figure out what you're good at and do that.
Yeah,
right?
BYOC. That's what type of company we have. BYOC. Bring your own chairs.
No one's trying to sit in a wood chair either.
Well, some people like wood chairs.
I don't.
The wood tables, I'm telling you, making wood tables right now would pop.
Someone hit us up.
Let's go. If
you can make wood tables, hit us up.
If somebody knows how to do it,
and we need
DM us on Twitter. Yeah, there's people saying they know how to make tables in here.
We gotta we gotta be able to do it at scale too.
Somebody said I'll drop ship you cedar garden boxes. No, we're being serious. If somebody knows how to
Mark's gonna help us design the tables and the website.
Yeah, see,
Cool.
people are saying
So
tables
we got a creative director.
Yeah, I feel like look, I'm not this ain't my day job, but I feel like tables are pretty easy.
Do you guys see? I thought about this. I legitimately, I was at a restaurant and I was talking with a couple of people and they were talking about how there's this furniture shortage, the supply chains, all this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, tables can't be that hard. Again, maybe I'm a moron, but like they can't be that hard to build. And you can probably build a system where you can just churn them out. People will pay ridiculous price. If you Google right now, I mean, look at this. Ready? Nice wood dinner table. How much do you think they are?
$3,000.
$1,500, $2,800, $2,900, $1,500, $1,800. People pay a bag for tables. It don't cost $3,000 to make this table. This table looks like we made it.
Oh, if we're not
like that table definitely looks like we made it.
We're not a 3-figure business. We're 4 figures and higher. $1,000 or higher on this table.
No, a $5,000 nice ass wood table.
You already know the price of that. Anything else? What if it costs $3,000 to make?
Then it's 5,000 or more.
Well, it's gonna have to be more than that. We need better margins.
Do you want to know how many ballers?
Right,
you know how many ballers are out there that would say, I want to have a $10,000 table in my house and have it as like a talking point?
Yeah, I agree.
100 tables, $10,000, do the math.
Hey, and if we sell them for $1,000, that means we got to sell 10 times more. So let's do $10,000. I like that.
People are saying, Pom, how will you get the wood? I'll go to the forest. That's how I get the wood. If there's a shortage,
maybe what we'll do is we'll buy some land that has the wood on it, and then we'll own the land too.
No. You guys trying to make this too complex. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the local lumber yard.
Then we build an apartment building on top of the land. Now that the trees are gone.
I legitimately think we should do this. We'll go to the local lumber yard, and you know what I would say to them? I say, yo, local lumber yard. Hey, how's your business doing right now? You know what they'll probably say? We were balling 6 months ago when lumber was triple the price or double the price or whatever it is now. But we're still trying to figure things out, right? And what I would say to them is, I said, I'll do a deal with you. You give me the wood at a good price. I'll cut you in to the upside. And we'll throw in a bunch of free marketing for you so that we drive you more business. You get upside in our business. There ain't many people showing up there. Most people showing up there saying, give me the wood for cheaper. We're saying we're going to help you make more money. And we'll go ahead and we'll include them in all the marketing of the tables. And I bet you we get whatever wood we need.
I think we should do it. I think someone should hit us up to do it. We should see if we can get to whatever your timeline was for $1 million in the run rate. And then maybe this is overstepping, but if we do it, we give away all the money.
I would do that.
Yeah, you looked at me like, what?
No,
I got y'all. We gonna give away the money if we hit it.
If we do it, all right, hold on. This is serious. Man, now I'm gonna really.
If y'all are giving away the money, I'm out.
All right, we don't need
you're
your
out.
time. You're
Yeah,
out.
that's fine.
All right,
Perfect.
fine. See how that goes? You ain't on the team. You done.
Perfect.
Yeah, what are you going to go do? Join the Amish team?
No, I'm gonna go build my own fucking metal table. Last longer.
Good luck.
Way better, durable.
I think I would do that. The first $1 million of
They said
profit.
this has to be the low point of the market. Us
No.
talking about tables. This is business we're talking about.
Yeah,
here.
this is what I would do. I would create a table business, and the first $1 million of profit we give away to you all.
Oh,
Yeah,
if you're
people
only
watching
doing
the
like
show.
percentage, I want upside.
Oh no, and I wasn't saying whatever. Yeah, we can talk about the details later. But we get to $1 million in run rate. Whatever we make on that money, we give away on the show.
Okay, I would do it that way.
Yeah, whatever we make, we get
If
to $1
you
million.
know how to make tables, preferably in Miami, but if you know how to make wood tables and you're good at it, I don't need y'all making basically tables held together with Elmer's glue. Need real tables.
Yeah, we don't hold cash on our balance sheet, just Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course. What? All right, last thing, monkeypox. Man, this show's taking way longer than I thought it was going to take.
Yeah, I got something to do at 12:30, FYI.
We're going to be done in 10 minutes.
I got a couple calls.
I'm not playing with
Monkeypox, what is it?
I'm not playing with this monkeypox.
Yeah, I thought this
I
was
think
a joke.
Fauci's making a fucking
I thought monkeypox-
reunion tour or something. He's coming out. He's like, yeah, let's do another one.
I thought
Bro, we
thought-
just got over the last one.
I thought monkeypox was a joke.
Hold on. Just so
That was a joke.
Yeah,
just
I
so
thought-
we're
I
all
saw
on
it.
the
It used
same
to be-
page. Hold on. Let's just make sure we're all on the same page. According to the CDC, obviously the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the highest quality provider of information in society, monkeypox was first discovered in 1958 when 2 outbreaks of a pox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys kept for research, hence the name monkeypox. The first human case of monkeypox was recorded in 1970 in the Democratic Republic of Congo during a period of intensified effort to eliminate smallpox. Since then, monkeypox has been reported in humans in other Central and Western African countries. If we then go look, monkeypox is a rare disease that is caused by infection with monkeypox virus. Monkeypox virus belongs to, I can't pronounce all those words. That means monkeypox was first discovered in 1958. Monkeypox cases in people have occurred outside of Africa linked to international travel or imported animals, including cases in the United States as well as Israel, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. The natural reservoir of monkeypox remains unknown. However, African rodents and non-human primates, like monkeys, may harbor the virus and infect people. Now, I'm not playing with this because the other thing that's real important here, they bought millions of doses of monkeypox vaccine after there was a case confirmed in Massachusetts. Health officials currently investigating a second potential case in New York City. Now, the way that this is transmitted is when a person comes into contact with the virus from an animal, a human, or materials contaminated with the virus. And then the signs or the symptoms, according to CNN, another great provider of information in our society, is that, let's see here, they claim the initial symptoms. There's an incubation period of some 7 to 14 days, according to the CDC. Initial symptoms are typically flu-like, such as fever, chills, exhaustion, headache, and muscle weakness, followed by swelling in the lymph nodes, which help the body fight infection and disease. Next comes a widespread rash on the face and body, including inside the mouth, on the palms of the hand, and the soles of the feet. The painful raised poxes are pearly and fluid-filled, often surrounded by red circles. The lesions finally scab over and resolve over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, according to the CDC. Treatment is generally supportive as there are no specific drugs available. However, a vaccine is available that can be given to people to prevent the development of diseases. I'm out. I'm out of all this. Viruses, I'm out. Maybe we have a case, maybe we don't. In New York City, I'm out. I don't know why it feels like this is happening more. Maybe it's just because we have dumb brains and now we're all like super sensitive to it. But if there was a monkeypox pandemic, that'd be bad. People walking around with the lesions all over their body.
I'm going to take my thinking on this off one line from the World Health Organization that says monkeypox is less contagious than smallpox and causes less severe illness. I'm not really worried about it at this point in time based off that comment.
You just good?
Well, smallpox aren't very prevalent in.
But I think that's because people are vaccinated against smallpox, right?
I don't know.
I don't know how.
I don't work for the World
I'm not a
Health
doctor.
Organization.
I'm also out on monkeypox.
You're out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out, but not worried. Is that fair?
I think that's
John,
the
are
same.
you in on monkeypox?
What does being out on monkeypox mean?
Well, I'm not
just-
talking
you're
about
just-
it.
yeah,
I
you're
deal
just
with
out.
it. No, like I'm not going to
You gonna
participate.
keep a bird's eye view on it or
No,
no?
I'm just going to not participate.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm on that side.
Yeah, like if monkeypox comes and knocks on the door, I'm like, I'm not participating.
no, thank you.
I'm out.
No, thank you. No soliciting.
Yeah. Just go to the neighbors.
Yeah.
You're good. Hey, you. Did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.